The family group chat starts buzzing weeks before the birthday. Someone suggests renting a private room. Another person wants to invite old friends from out of state. Someone else is already asking for childhood photos to make a tribute video. It is a milestone birthday after all. 50. 60. Maybe another number that seems important enough to require speeches, decorations, and a room full of people shouting, "Surprise!" Then the birthday person finally responds, "Please don't make a big deal out of it." The family laughs. That is such a Gen X thing. Someone assumes they are embarrassed about getting older. Someone else calls them stubborn. The more people insist that the party will be fun, the more firmly they refuse. No venue, no surprise, no big crowd. I mean it. From the outside, it can look antisocial, ungrateful even. Everyone is trying to show love, and this person seems determined to reject it. But what if the uncomfortable part is not the birthday? What if it is becoming the emotional center of the room? Large celebrations are usually treated as proof of connection. The number of guests, the effort, the photographs, and the public messages all seem to say, "Look how many people care about you." So when someone turns that down, we tend to explain the refusal through personality. They hate people. They're afraid of aging. They do not know how to have fun. But the same sentence, "I don't want a party," can come from completely different psychological places. For one person, it may be a peaceful choice. For another, it may be a protective strategy. And from the outside, those two people can look exactly the same. Some people simply do not enjoy spectacle. A crowded room, forced small talk, constant photographs, and the pressure to look delighted can feel exhausting rather than meaningful. They may prefer a long dinner with two close friends, a quiet morning with family, or an ordinary day without having to perform gratitude for an audience. That is not emotional avoidance. It can be self-knowledge. You know what gives you energy. You know what drains you. You do not need a large event to prove that your relationships matter. In this case, saying no is an expression of autonomy. But here is where the distinction becomes more complicated. Two people can choose the same quiet dinner. One chooses it because it genuinely feels right. The other chooses it because anything larger would make them feel exposed. And exposure is not always obvious. Many American Gen X adults grew up in environments where independence was heavily rewarded. They learned to come home, solve problems, entertain themselves, and avoid becoming a burden. Not everyone had the same childhood, of course, but for some, being low maintenance became more than a practical habit. It became an identity. You may recognize this person. They plan everyone else's birthdays. They remember what other people like. They make the reservations, bring the cake, fix the problem, and make sure everyone gets home safely. But when you ask what they want for their own birthday, they say, "I'm fine with anything." Or, "Save your money." Or, "It's just another day." They are comfortable giving care because giving keeps them useful. Receiving care requires something different. It requires them to stop managing. For one day, other people make the plans. Other people choose the words. Other people decide how affection will be expressed. And suddenly, the person who is usually in control has to sit still and receive what is happening. What looks like modesty may partly be discomfort with surrender. Because a large birthday celebration does not only create attention, it creates emotional visibility. There may be speeches, old photographs, stories from childhood. Someone may talk about how much you mean to them. Someone may describe a side of you that you rarely discuss. People may watch your face while you open a gift or hear a heartfelt message. For someone who has built a reputation around being composed, practical, or hard to embarrass, this can feel less like appreciation and more like being examined. During an ordinary gathering, you can stay busy. You can refill someone's drink, clean the kitchen, tell a joke, or change the subject. But when everyone is looking at you, usefulness can no longer protect you from being seen. That is when a surprising question appears. Do you dislike affection, or do you dislike not knowing how to receive it? You might be perfectly comfortable helping a friend through a crisis, yet feel awkward when that friend tells a room full of people how much your support mattered. You might enjoy buying thoughtful gifts for others, but want to disappear when someone hands one to you. you may know how to earn appreciation through effort. What feels unfamiliar is receiving appreciation without doing anything in that moment to deserve it. And there is another reason someone may reject a celebration before it begins. Disappointment. Birthdays create expectations even when we claim they do not. Who remembered? Who called? Who made an effort? Who showed up? Did the people closest to you understand what would matter, or did they create the kind of event they wanted instead? When you say, birthdays mean nothing to me, you lower the emotional stakes before anyone has the chance to disappoint you. If nobody organizes anything, you can say that was exactly what you wanted. If someone forgets, you can pretend there was nothing to remember. If the event feels smaller than you secretly hoped, you can protect yourself with the story that you never cared in the first place. This does not mean every private person is hiding a wounded expectation, but sometimes refusing the celebration is less painful than discovering how much you wanted to matter. The mind often tries to control emotional risk by rejecting the test before the result arrives. It is safer to say, do not do anything, than to wait and see what people would have chosen to do. Control also explains why some people reject a surprise party, but feel comfortable with a planned dinner. Once they can choose the restaurant, the guest list, the start time, and exactly when the evening will end, their resistance decreases. That tells us something important. The problem may not be celebration itself. The problem may be uncertainty. A large party means other people are coordinating your experience. You do not know who will be there, what they will say, which photographs will appear, or how emotional the evening may become. For someone who regulates internal tension by controlling external details, that uncertainty can feel threatening. Refusing everything restores predictability. But again, control is not automatically unhealthy. Clear boundaries can be a mature form of self-respect. The real question is whether the boundary is flexible. A person who genuinely prefers simplicity can usually accept a thoughtful gesture that respects their limits. They may not want 50 guests, but they can enjoy breakfast with family. They may dislike speeches but appreciate a handwritten letter. They may request no surprise visitors, yet feel moved when an old friend calls. Their preference feels calm. A defensive refusal often feels different. It is rigid, tense, vigilant. Any attempt to show care creates suspicion or anger. Even a small gesture feels invasive. The person does not simply prefer less attention, they need to prevent attention from reaching them at all. So the most revealing question is not, do you like birthday parties? It is, what do you believe will happen if people celebrate you? Will you lose control? Will you owe them something? Will you appear needy? Will they misunderstand you? Will they disappoint you? Or will they see that beneath all the independence, being remembered still matters? Some people have spent decades becoming valuable through competence. They are the reliable one, the capable one, the funny one, the person who handles things without making a scene. Their place in the family or friend group feels connected to what they provide. Then a birthday offers a different kind of value. Nobody is celebrating you because you fixed the sink, met a deadline, gave advice, or held everyone together. They are celebrating you because you exist in their lives. And that can be strangely difficult to accept. Who are you when nobody needs you to perform a role? Can you remain in the chair while someone else serves the cake? Can you listen to affection without turning it into a joke? Can you let yourself be important without immediately proving that you deserve the attention? Emotional independence is often confused with needing nothing, but real independence may include the ability to receive something meaningful without feeling controlled by it. The healthier alternative is not necessarily a bigger party. It is a more honest answer. Instead of automatically saying, I want nothing, you might pause long enough to identify what would actually feel good. Maybe it is breakfast with your children, one old friend coming to visit, a quiet dinner with no speeches, a handwritten note instead of a public tribute, a gathering with a clear ending time. The goal is not to force yourself into someone else's idea of celebration. It is to notice whether your refusal comes from peace or from fear. Back in the family group chat, please don't make a big deal out of it, may still be the right boundary. But now the sentence has more possibilities inside it. It may mean, I know what brings me joy. It may mean, I do not want to perform happiness. It may mean, I am afraid you will disappoint me. Or it may mean, I spent so long learning not to need anything that I no longer know how to ask for what I want. The size of the celebration reveals very little by itself. What matters is whether you are choosing simplicity or disappearing before affection has the chance to find you. If you recognized yourself or someone you love, share in the comments what birthdays bring up for you, and subscribe for more explorations of the psychology hidden inside ordinary behavior.